it's Miss Lady Lace here, and today I have for you a new updated version of the room tour of my dressing room slash office area. I filmed a room tour maybe a year or so ago, and I thought since I've just done some renovations, including a fresh coat of paint and a whole heap of new things in here, I thought it would be wonderful to give you a new tour of this fabulous area. I'm so excited to be sharing this today because painting this area and redecorating it a little bit has been something I've been so excited to do for so long, and now that it's happened, I'm very excited to share the changes with all of you. So I will start by showing a before video. This is footage from my original room tour. I'll then also cut in some footage just before I started updating it. Please don't judge the messy room. It was right after a big series of shows, so I had completely trashed it. Here's some progress shots once I've gutted everything out. It was so much work packing up all my books and all my things and collapsing the room essentially into the center. And a lot of things were actually moved out to the shed so we could paint the walls and start fresh. We then have our fabulous after video showcasing what the room is currently looking like. For the colour of the walls, I have been dreaming so long of painting the walls pink. As many of you fabulous friends of mine will know, it's definitely my favourite colour and it's something I feature quite heavily in my own dressing as well as the accessories I keep within my home. It's a little bit hard to see the true colour in the background just because the light's sort of at the front of the room, so I've moved myself forward to be in this light area, but I'll hopefully sort of as I'm filming you'll be able to see it a little bit better. It's quite a light pastel pink and it is the colour in the Julex collection called Petite Pink, and it's just so fabulous and I love it so much. A big shout out to my dad who actually painted the room. He has a business under Supreme Quality Painting, so he actually came in and with the assistance of my husband Matthew, they painted the room while I had a pinup event on, so I'm truly grateful for that. So let's get started with our room tour. So this is the doorway to my fabulous dressing room and office space. Matthew actually went through a phase of replacing all the doors in the house with a vintage doorknob, but let's unlock it and take a look at what's in this room. So we'll start at the back of the room and work our way around. And this is where I have my 1940s pink Chaise Lounge, which is an item I picked up from a fabulous antique store in Fremantle, which unfortunately isn't open anymore. But I just truly adore the beautiful dusty pink color to this item. It then features gold, green, and pink painting on the side. Some of it has unfortunately chipped back a little bit, and I'm thinking I'll eventually repaint that. But for now, I just have it sitting over here. My Chaise Lounge I like to use for a number of different things. I like to just sit here, relax, maybe meditate. I like to read books, and sometimes I'll even sit here with my laptop and do a little bit of work. Behind my Chaise Lounge is my paper moon, and this is actually a burlesque prop that I use for a couple burlesque numbers. When I'm not utilizing this though, it just sits in here to add a little bit of fabulous atmosphere to the space. Above this, I have a beautiful gift that Matthew made me, and this is a canvas covered in vintage postcards. Over here, we have my fabulous bookshelf. It's just a modern piece that I think was from IKEA. I've actually had it since I used to live with my parents, which is close to 10 years ago, but I am hoping to eventually replace this with a vintage item, which is also practical, but this at the moment, it just holds so much, so it's just so practical even though it's not the most aesthetically pleasing thing in my room. Looking at our top section here, I have a collection of bags. Some of them are vintage wicker bags, others are from the Lola Von Rose bag collection. And I also have this super cute picture featuring the phrase Glamour Girl, and this has become a really big part of my life, living by that motto. I then have a couple vintage bags, a vintage hairdryer, a cute little ornament, and also this beautiful picture that Miss Vintage Orchid drew me. This section here would definitely be my favorite part of my collection. So I have all my different books that I utilize for different things. I've got my costuming books on this side, I have my burlesque books on this side, and books on additional styles of dance like ballet to this side. And for most of the bookshelf areas, I sort of feature some dried flowers that Matthew's given me in these beautiful swan vases. For this side here, I've got my vintage beauty books, including Dita Von Teese and some actual true vintage 1940s and 50s beauty books. And my books on pinups and pinup artists to this side. Through this lower section here, I have a collection of magazines I'm featured in, a collection of true vintage magazines, as well as a beautiful picture with my friends Dee Dee Luscious and Sammy Sparkles. And to the far right, I have my collection of records and programs of shows I've gone to. I won't break down all the things in this kind of lower section here, but I have a collection of fiction and biographies, my paperworks and current projects that I'm working on, as well as my letter writing stuff, which is just down the bottom here. In this back section, I've got my vintage sewing box, which contains most of my important equipment, as well as my mannequin, which is currently dressed with a beautiful hat, and my Miss Viva Las Vegas 22 pinup second runner-up sash. In front of the outer wall, which is actually mainly a window, I have my fabulous desk. I really enjoy the natural sunlight that comes in this area. On my desk, I have this beautiful vintage pen holder, which is from the 1950s, my phone and laptop, and also this super cute lamp. In these drawers, I like to keep all my writing accessories. And in my bottom drawer, just some paper, easy to access and then easily file away into my bookshelf. We then make it to my favorite part of my room, which is my vintage dresser, which holds all my vintage beauty items. To the right of this, I have a couple fabulous pairs of vintage boudoir shoes. In this little box, I keep my additional hat overflow that doesn't fit onto my hat rack. I have a beautiful signed piece from Tempest Storm, which I had signed when I visited America a couple months ago. And also this super cute lamp, which is actually a perfume bottle. Behind this, I have my hat rack with my larger hats, as well as my umbrella collection. This wall features a beautiful picture from when I met Dita Von Teese at the Wheels and Doll Baby fashion show, and also this vintage magazine print from a women's weekly magazine. We're now at my beautiful 1950s dresser, and this is actually something that was left with the house we bought. Oh, the lighting is not behaving very well, but you can see on this side I've got a beautiful pale pink vintage vase. I have this little lady vase, and she actually holds all my bobby pins in here. And I also have my collection of Lola Von Rose lipsticks in this beautiful vintage lipstick holder, as well as this beautiful handheld mirror. Look, there's the camera. Oh, sorry, super dirty mirror. And this actually has my initials engraved on the back. What I love about this dresser is it has so much storage. So in my top drawer, I keep all my additional makeup products. In my second drawer, I keep all my hair products, including the fabulous Suavecita pomade and all my brushes. On the other side, I have this beautiful little vintage thing that I keep my hairnets in. This little display Avon piece and another fabulous mirror. I have all my hair products to the right, and then all my fabulous hair rollers in this fabulous little drawer that just fits them perfectly. In this top area here, I like to keep all my fragile vintage items. So vintage items that I've collected, like this beautiful powder here, vintage hairpins, and other fabulous accessories. In this middle section, I've got jewelry to be put away in my larger jewelry box, somewhere to pop my rings, a few perfumes, and more brushes. On to our last couple drawers. I keep all my hair flowers and hair goodies in this drawer. In this middle drawer, I have all my gloves and handkerchiefs and other accessories, easy to reach before running out the door. In this end drawer, I keep kind of odds and ends, but also my main makeup kit that I utilize at the moment. If you watched my previous video, you may have remembered I had a 1970s sewing box that I actually kept all my makeup in, but I transitioned over to a travel bag when I went to America, and I just found it really suited my lifestyle a lot better because I do take my makeup to photo shoots, shows, and other events. It was quite annoying to then have to pop it into a travel bag. So I will show you what this looks like now. When I'm getting it ready in the morning, I just pop this bag up here and it just opens up. All the brushes are simply in the side component here. I keep my overflow of hair nets and the rest of my makeup collection through here. And then when I'm done, it just simply closes up together and it goes back into the drawer. Next to this dresser, I just have my clock to keep an eye on the time while I'm getting ready, because being punctual is something that's super important to me. I then just have a few more boxes. The top just kind of has odds and ends that I haven't sorted through to go into the room yet. And the bottom box has my huge collection of chiffon hair scarves. So we've now come to the less glamorous part of my room, and this is my cupboard that contains all my sewing items, costuming, and other fun items such as this. On the top shelf, I have a lot of my props and costumes. I also have my Viva Las Vegas trophy here. I still need to find a place for it to sit, as it doesn't quite work with the color combination in my room, but I really want to find somewhere fabulous to pop that. I then have all my fabrics, sewing equipment, embellishments such as crystals and whatnot, and then glues and other fabulous things I utilize here. In this section, I also have all these starbursts that I want to pop up on the moon wall over here, but I haven't quite found all the perfect places to pop these, so I'm just waiting till I figure out how I want to scatter them, and then I'll put them up on the wall. In this section, I have a collection of different costumes, so I have my dance equipment. I of course have my tax shoebox full of all my receipts, pasties, and other fabulous things. And just along the bottom, I have my sewing machine, a few jackets at the back, my main jewelry box, and that's pretty much our room tour complete. So, oh gosh, no kisses, no kisses, no kisses, no thank you, too many kisses. Too many kisses. So that's our fabulous room tour complete. I'd love to know in the description below if you like the new additions I've made, and if you have any pictures of your own vintage dressing room or office space, I'd love to see them. I don't think you can actually post pictures in the comments, but if you include a link to an Instagram photo or a photo somewhere else, I would love to go check it out. As you can see, Noodle has joined in for this part of the video and keeps giving me little kisses. You're very cheeky, aren't you? So very cheeky. I do hope you've enjoyed today's video. I am planning on creating more videos, touring different parts of my house. We did also paint the lounge room, and once we have a few more pictures up on the wall, I will share the next part of this video. If you'd like to follow my daily pinup adventures and see lots of cute stories, including my little noodle bear here, be sure to follow me on Instagram. I post there super regularly because I'm completely addicted. I'll post a little link here as well as at the end of the video. As always, if you'd like to never miss out on one of these glamorous videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button below, and both Noodle and I will be seeing you real soon.